impossible to get a victory, to become an overcomer, to become an achiever. But God took Shamgar and he put something in his hand and caused a victory. So if Moses was here today and he was down at the Red Sea, Moses was having a conversation with God. He was asking him, what do I need to do? God says, what do you have in your hand? And so every man that's in here that think that you're limited by your resources, limited by your capabilities and your ability, what do you have in your hand? Because when God touches it, 2 fish, 5, but in God's hand. Boy, in LeBron's hand, there's championships. Coco Golf, there is a French Open. Simone Biles, there is a coming from a moment of mental trauma and blowing the entire world's mind in her hands. But I'm so glad that God's got the whole world. So whatever you need, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly all that you can ever ask, think, or dream. But notice what he does. He says, look at me and do likewise. I will blow the trumpet. He says, and the sword, he says, and say. He says, not only what's in your hand, but look what's in your mouth. And he says, say the sword of the Lord and Gideon. What's in your mouth? The power of life and death is in the tongue. So much so that David understood this when he came back to Ziklag. And in that moment, he encouraged himself in the Lord.